Hey Florida homeowners and curious minds around the nation. Welcome to our channel, Living in Fort Lauderdale with Kev and Suze. So hey, quick question. Have you noticed your home insurance bills creeping up, maybe shooting up a little faster than maybe the mercury even in July? Well folks, you're not alone. So today we're going to go ahead and jump feet first into the heart of the Sunshine State's home insurance crisis. We're going to take a look and dissect some local trends, uncovering some hopeful signs that relief may be on the horizon. So folks, stick around and explore why rates have been skyrocketing, the looming threat of hurricanes, and what new players promising changes to the insurance game here in South Florida and the state of Florida. So folks, why have home insurance rates in Florida been increasing so much? Okay, and how do Florida's and more specifically South Florida's insurance rates compare to the rest of the U.S.? Okay, and what are the factors that kind of contribute to the high cost of home insurance here in the state of Florida, and more specifically here in South Florida? So, folks, over the past 18 to 20 months, Floridians have seen their home insurance rates soar by nearly 24 or 25% for single-family homes and like 23 or 25% for condos. So kind of put that in perspective, the U.S. inflation rate has hovered around 4.7% during the same period. So why does this matter? Because it's not just numbers on a page, okay? It's about the impact on your wallet, okay, and our community's economic stability. What's caused the slowdown? We are seeing some improvements. So what's caused the slowdown in the increase of homeowners insurance rates in the last quarter of 2023 and the first quarter of 2024? And are these rates expected to continue stabilizing and hopefully, kind of moving down at a little bit greater rate? Okay, but how could a major hurricane and the forecast of having 25 plus major storms or named storms in this hurricane season, how could that affect some of the current trends in the homeowners insurance? So folks, here's how the plot kind of thickens, if you will. The final quarter of 2023 saw the slowest rate increase in this whole 18-month ordeal. Insurance insiders are buzzing with optimism, suggesting that the market is finally stabilizing. Folks, however, this little hopeful narrative comes with a cliffhanger. The threat of a major hurricane or a climate event could rewrite the story in an instant. So, folks, quick question. What do y'all think? Have you felt the pinch of rising rates or seen signs of stabilization? If you would, go ahead and drop your comments and drop your thoughts in the box below and let us know what your thoughts are. I'm Kev, and we're living in Fort Lauderdale with Kev and Suze. Okay, we're one of the original YouTube channels down here for the Fort Lauderdale area. Okay, and one of the things that we love doing more than helping everybody else who with any kind of real estate related questions, because Suzanne and we are both licensed realtors. Okay, it's basically sharing the area around Fort Lauderdale and the area in South Florida, especially areas like Pompano Beach, where folks have been asking us about specific information. We love sharing that information with everybody. We love showing everybody basically, where we live and why we love living here. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, drop us an email, DM us, okay, or click on the link below and you can go ahead and set up a 40 to 45 minute session where we can talk about Pompano Beach, Fort Lauderdale, South Florida, any kind of real estate related issues or questions you guys may have. Okay. Nothing really impacts the homeowners insurance rates, both positively and negatively, more so than inclement weather or hurricanes as we experience them here in South Florida. Okay, so why do hurricanes actually lead to higher homeowner insurance rates? Okay, and actually a really good question that we were asked recently is, do you know how insurance companies prepare for an active hurricane season? Some seasons have been identified as being more potentially active than others. Okay, and in some cases it's been true, but in many cases it's not been as active as some of those forecasters or some of the analysts project. Okay, and then more importantly, what can homeowners do to mitigate the impact of hurricanes on their insurance rates? So, folks, speaking of hurricanes, the forecasters at AccuWeather and Colorado State University are predicting a busier than normal season. Thanks to toasty sea surface temperatures and a kind of a sprightly La Nina effect going on, they envision us having 24 to 25 named storms, which is more than we've had in the past couple of years. But history teaches us that a significant storm hitting a populated area doesn't just wreak havoc on the ground, it sends those insurance rates into the stratosphere. So, folks, Have just, again, quick question. Have you or somebody you know been through a major hurricane, and do you know how it affected your insurance or their insurance? Okay, let's kind of share a little bit and support each other in comments dropped in below. So folks, there is good news. There's some new players in the market. So, who are the new insurance companies entering the Florida market, and why does it matter? Well, folks, we've been hearing for the past 12 to 18 months that insurance companies are fleeing South Florida and the Florida markets like quicker than rats on a sinking ship. So how will these new insurance companies affect competition and pricing in the home insurance market? What innovations are the new companies bringing to the home insurance industry in Florida? So folks, there's actually been about 7 to 8 new insurance companies that have stepped into Florida's sandy shores, and they're approved and they're ready to kind of come in and kind of establish a foothold in the market. With fresh capital, innovative pricing algorithms, new ways of doing things, these newcomers, these folks are promising more accurately priced premiums and more fair premiums to everybody. So honestly, quick question, could this be the competition we've needed to drive these rates down that have been skyrocketing for the past 18 months? So folks, and there's actually even more rays of hope piercing through our little storm clouds. For the first time in the past 8 years, since 2016, Florida-based insurers are back in the black, thanks to a mixture of investment income and the last couple of mild hurricane seasons and some pivotal tort reforms that are going on. Plus, the trend toward lower litigation rates is really easing the pressure on premiums. We're even seeing some insurers proposing rate decreases for the first time in years. So folks, to kind of give you a local perspective, and here are some of the sources. We've done interviews with some of our clients, some of the folks that are looking to buy property here in South Florida, and some of the folks that have actually looking to leave South Florida because previous homeowner insurance rates have just been too high for them. So, but there are some sources and some places that you can go to kind of get more information. We certainly, if you have any questions, we certainly encourage you to reach out to myself or my team of experts here in the South Florida area. We'll try to answer most any questions that you may have regarding homeowners insurance rates. Now, in all fairness, we're not insurance agents, but we do work with a number of them that are very, very reputable, and we're more than happy to share that information with you. For example, if you check with the Florida Office of Insurance Regulation, they're probably going to be one of your best sources for Florida specific information. Their website is a primary source for regulatory information, for data on insurance rates, and insights into insurance policy impacts across the state. It's really one of our authoritative sources for understanding the framework that govern the homeowners insurance rates in all of Florida. We'd also suggest that maybe you want to look up to the Florida Department of Financial Services. They provide a lot of consumer-based resources, including guides and tips on purchasing homeowners insurance, kind of understanding your policy, kind of managing how you can manage insurance costs, and just some kind of hints and tips and tricks on how you can kind of control it. But more importantly, some of the things that you look for, so you can kind of avoid some of those potential gotchas that going in if this is your first time looking at purchasing homeowners insurance here in the state of Florida. Of course, you use local news outlets and investigative reporters. You can't turn the TV on at night anywhere here in South Florida without hearing something about something's going on. There's homeowners insurance here and there's homeowners insurance there, and this is going on, and so on and so forth. So we would certainly encourage you to start looking at that. You can also look at some of the things online, and of course, we would certainly encourage you to look at some of the online social media, some of the online forums. There is no shortage of folks that are broadcasting their views and their perspectives on what goes on in the state of Florida, and more specifically here in the area of South Florida. Okay, but the other thing too is that we found that it helps kind of providing kind of a local perspective on things. Okay, so and folks, honestly, insurance rates, they do vary significantly across the state of Florida due to different risk profiles. Coastal areas that are more prone to hurricanes and flooding they're going to have higher insurance rates and higher insurance premiums. Urban centers may also have higher rates due to theft or vandalism, or due to a lot of the construction that's going on. Conversely, inland and northern regions of Florida may see lower rates due to the perception of lower risks of natural disasters. And folks, yes, some areas of Florida are more affected by insurance rate hikes than others. For example, Miami-Dade, Broward, and the Florida Keys often experience higher rates due to their vulnerability for hurricanes and flooding. Okay, these regions have historically faced significantly losses from storms and making them higher risk areas for insurers. Folks, if you think back to just April of 2023, where we had this 3 or 4 days worth of storms and the flooding here in the Fort Lauderdale area, folks, I got to tell you, only about 30% of the people that were impacted by those floods actually had adequate insurance to cover that. They had not only did they have homeowners insurance, but they also had flood insurance. That left almost 70% of the people that were adversely impacted by the floods coming through, basically with nothing at all. They were relying on FEMA, and from what I understand from recent inquiries, there are still almost 50% of those folks waiting to have some sort of a settlement or some sort of remuneration that comes through from the federal government. It's not a slight to the federal government in any way, shape, or form. It just speaks to the importance of making sure that you do your homework when it comes to looking at homeowners insurance. And remember, in the state of Florida, especially in South Florida, homeowners insurance is inclusive of insurance for your home, for your dwelling, and it also may include flood insurance if you fit within certain floodplain guidelines. And again, on the other hand, less densely populated areas and more inland counties may see more moderate increases, or they may actually begin to see reductions in insurance rates. So what's the first thing that you can do to help them just shop around? Folks, we shop all of our insurance every 6 months. Our homeowners insurance, our auto insurance, everything gets shopped every 6 months. It's amazing how much money you can save by spending 10, 15, or 20 minutes every 6 months or periodically just kind of shopping around. Also, if there are any material changes in your circumstance, you get married, you have a death in the family, you have a birth, you have a divorce, anything like that, take a look around and see what kind of impact those material changes can have. Okay, there's also a lot of mitigation. Here in South Florida, we focus heavily on mitigation because we are in the hurricane path and we are prone to hurricanes coming through. Implementing hurricane-proof measures such as storm shutters or reinforced roofing or impact windows, proper drainage systems, those can all lead to discounts on premiums. Okay. The other thing is that, look at your deductible, determine whether or not what you feel, what is your risk tolerance for that? A higher deductible can mean a lower premium, although it may mean, higher out-of-pocket expenses, in the event of a claim. However, you can go ahead and take a look. We have some folks that have raised their deductible up to the point to where they've actually been able to invest the difference, and they've actually built up a nice little nest egg from the standpoint if and when something does occur, and if for some reason it doesn't, then you have that little pocket of investment, a little pocket of money kind of tucked away for you. And again, the other thing is that folks, review your existing coverage. Things change all the time. I would love to say that once you get a policy that everything remains constant and everything remains consistent. But folks, the reality is it doesn't. Insurance companies are notorious for sending out little updates here or changes here, modifications on this, modifications on that. You need to make sure, go back and take a look at your policy. Are you covered for the things that you need to be covered for? And more importantly, are there things that you need to be covered for that you're not currently covered for? Take a look at it. If you're not sure, talk to an insurance agent. Again, reach out to us if you have any questions. We can certainly recommend a few that we've worked with that are very, very reputable, very, very honest, that have worked with us in the past. Folks, these are some of the things that you really need to basically look at. Folks, the other thing, ask for discounts when you go shopping. We see a lot of folks that walk in and say, "Hey, if I give you cash, is it a 10% discount?" Ask for discounts. Many insurers will offer discounts for home security. They'll offer discounts for increased protection, smoke detectors, bundling policies, health, life, home, auto, all those kind of things. But again, taking a look, it's like everything else that we've been talking about in our videos. A little bit of homework, a little bit of legwork, a little bit of elbow grease can certainly, it's amazing the impact it can have, especially when it comes to doing your homework on insurance. So folks, zooming in on South Florida area, we have a mixed bag. While the statewide average premium tells one story, the reality here can be quite different, with some facing increases, albeit at a slower pace. But with reinsurance rates dipping, there's a glimmer of hope for everyone from Miami to the Keys. So folks, what's your take on the Florida's home insurance saga? Are we truly seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, or is there another twist waiting in the wings? Share your thoughts and your stories and questions below. If you found our little jump into the insurance pool enlightening, give us a thumbs up. Okay, so subscribe, hit the bell to get more insights on what effects insurance can have on your pocket in the Sunshine State. Okay, and until next time, stay informed and stay safe.